Day 13, unlucky for some, but it's actually one of my lucky numbers, along with the episode number 21. Welcome back, everybody, to Stardew Valley here on Fantasy Farm. And today, we're going to be primarily, I believe, working on money making, trying to get us towards being able to buy the fall fruit trees. And once that's taken care of, I think we'll likely be moving on to starting to construct some of the coops and the barns. Fortunes are moderately good today. It is raining today, and it will also be raining tomorrow as well. So that means that we will have batteries aplenty, as well as some peppers, and the tomatoes are finally starting to get their first harvest, as well as the hops. So that is good news all around. Also a couple of melons. So let's put all that away accordingly. We will sell everything else. I'm going to take one of those tomatoes and move it to the community center bundle. I think I already donated the hot pepper, correct? Yes, I already did. And I do believe our blueberries will be ready tomorrow, and also the coffee beans are ready as well. I'm going to go ahead and just sell one of those. I'll sell the high quality one just so we can say that it is something that we have in fact sold. And then we'll go around and see what all there is to be seen. Robin has now finished her work on the second silo. So now we'll say at 240 out of 480. So it does combine the two together. So we've got our two silos built, which again, that was something I want to make sure that I had done before construction of any barn or coop. And now it is taken care of. We'll still, of course, need to get the second silo filled up when we have an opportunity, which is really at any time. But that does mean that when it is time to build those, that we will be good and ready on that front. Because trust me, at least for my personal opinion, when you decide to finally get a coop, it's honestly best to just try and upgrade it from the default and just go through the days and just get it to its highest stage as soon as you possibly can. Because once you do, the work that is required is substantially cut down. So it is well worth your time. Get a bit of extra clutter here. Oh, there's a tree that grew here. Go ahead and cut that down. We should check our wood reserves and see how we're doing here. Though I'm trying to talk a little bit loudly because somebody is singing, whistling, and humming all at the same time. They're doing a very poor job, whatever they're trying to do. Not too far away from my window here. Alright, so we're at roughly, not quite 600 wood there. Good to know. As for what to do today, I do think fishing is probably a pretty good option here to make just a boatload of money. The strawberries are surprisingly not ready. Kind of figured they would be by this point. And we do have a couple of empty spots for... Ooh, that's tough. Let's put in the summer squash seeds. We really haven't put in any of these yet, so we'll toss in a few. And at least have a few of those going in case we... I usually use these primarily for a food source, but we're clearly good on that for a ways. In fact, I'm actually going to put the Autumn's Bounty in here since I haven't been using it at all. I'm going to take the hoe out, because you always want to keep that on hand. I think we're just going to go directly to fishing, and with any luck we might find a cockle, as this is one of the days where there is increased forageables on the beach. I did skip those yesterday due to needing to do some mining and also planting some crops, but that doesn't mean that they won't be there today. It's also Alex's birthday today, which I'm just going to be completely 100 with you. I'm almost assuredly going to skip that, and part of the reason is because of his love and like list, so you guys will be seeing that right now. It's Alex's birthday today, a character that admittedly I'm not super big on at face value, but he does have a couple of key moments in later heart events that actually helped me warm up to him quite a bit. What can we use from his love list to boost his friendship with us? Well, not much. The book here is something you could possibly have a second copy of, but it's very unlikely, and both of these cooking recipes are currently impossible. Hash browns are given to you in year 2 for the recipe from Queen of Sauce, and for the salmon dinner, all 3 of these items are either grown or caught in the fall. For Alex's like list, thankfully and mercifully, the field snack is incredibly easy to make. You've likely crafted at least one of these back in spring to help keep your energy up, so you know the recipe is pretty easy. If you do have any eggs, Alex has these on his like list except for void eggs, so eggs are another option, at least the food eggs. Do not give him a dino egg though, as these are very hard to come by, and a parrot egg you shouldn't give him anyway, but it's not something you'll have at this point. So, more than likely, you'll probably end up going with the field snack. And here we are at the beach. I didn't cut too terribly much out there. You might have not seen me pick up the field snack from the trash. But whether you did or didn't, that was the last thing that I picked up before heading down here, so there wasn't too terribly much you missed. Do you see that coral up there on the other side of the plank I walked across? I'll get that when I come back. Yeah, there were more forageables, but unfortunately it was not really anything I was too terribly excited about picking up. I think I will sell those gold star ones to Willie here. If he's in, he is. Just get the extra space here for our fishing. And as for the other 2 objects, we're just going to go and eat those. There we go. Nearly full on energy. We got a pretty substantial amount of time to fish. So let's get to it. I guess I could chat here for a bit, because again, I don't like cutting too terribly early in the episodes. I mean, I technically did with Alex's birthday, but that was for information rather than me being like, well, we're just going to sit here and fish till the end of the day. Besides, today might be the day we hit level 10. It probably won't be, as we hit level 9 pretty recently, and obviously it takes quite a bit of experience to get to that final level. But the chance is still there. We'll see how it goes. Hoping for a bit of good fortune here. Though I would not be disappointed if some of the harder to catch fish did not pop up for a while. It would be nice to just get, like, even the red mullets, they're not super hard to catch or anything, but you still get a pretty good reward out of these. I don't need the insanely high value stuff if it's going to be stuff I'll consistently not catch. Getting those flounders consistently, if I could just keep getting that over and over, I'd be happy with that, personally. I'm surprised we haven't seen a treasure chest here yet, though. Oh, hey, it's one of you. I was trying to catch a third one of you not too long ago and was not having much luck in finding it. Pretty sure I caught the one and was like, yeah, I want to get a few more of these, and then I got one more, like, right before time ran out since they stopped appearing at 7. Admittedly, there's not really too much interesting to talk about going on. I did take a like, probably about 2 days break between these last 2 episodes and then the ones before that. So 20 and 21 are at the same time, but 19 and back are a little bit different. But not too much is going on. We had, like, New Year's, which of course I worked for, which sucked. For New Year's Eve and for New Year's Day, which is going to be tonight, New Year's Day. But I'll still be working again. Yay! We do appreciate a good thank you for all your service. We will not be giving you any vacation on holidays. I did get Thanksgiving at least, but we're set up to where everybody between Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, everybody should be getting at bare minimum 2 of those off, and the fact I only got 1 is pretty telling, so It's like, yes, I appreciate that you appreciate that I'm valuable. What I do not appreciate, however, is the double standard of, oh, well, in that case, you should be doing more. Let that be a lesson to you, kids. Never go above and beyond in your job. It will not pay off. You'll just get more work to do for the same amount of pay. Unless it's stuff like commission work. With that, at least, if I finish that quickly, then I get to move on to another one, and I do get paid more for each one of those I do. So that's at least something. But it was a relatively calm and quiet affair at work for New Year's, which is good, I suppose. It should be set up tonight where there's not too terribly much going on, so I should hopefully be able to get both of these episodes, the last one that you've already seen and this one you're watching right now, taken care of. Other than that, I've been replaying the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, which has been pretty fun. I wouldn't say I've been going for like a speed run or anything, but I've definitely been like skipping the cutscenes and trying to go at a pretty decent pace. And I feel like I'm doing okay. It's not like a professional speed run or anything, like I said, but I'm about 14 hours in, and all I've got left essentially is just getting that last piece of the Song of the Hero is where I'm at. I've got, I believe, 4 more heart pieces to get. I know for sure where 2 of them are. One is the bow and arrow game, which sucks, which is why I haven't been doing it. One is from the lightning round with fighting all the bosses. And I'm not sure where the other 2 are. I think they're probably Goddess Cube chests, would be my guess. But I still have that area in Lanayru to go through, and I know there's at least a few of them there, so it's possible one of those pieces could be there. And as for the Gratitude Crystal quest, I think I'm done with all of them except for one, which is the item check girl one. I just haven't slept in beds frequently enough for her to fully change her attitude towards me. I think she's sort of the middle-of-the-road one right now, so next time that I hop on there, I'll probably just sleep in a bed like 6 or 7 times in a row and then come back and finish that quest off, and then I'll be good to go on the Gratitude Crystals. I don't know if I'll bother upgrading every item because I've had horrible luck in that run-through of trying to find monster claws of all things. They've just not been showing up. I've gone through the whole game and I've gotten about, I think, 4 total. And I pretty much fight every enemy I come across. Like, I haven't gone back to any areas to grind for anything other than the hornet larva, but usually that's like one of the most common drops. And I've been seeing next to none of them. It's just not been happening. It's enough that, like, I only had enough to upgrade my wooden shield all the way to max, but anything else I have not upgraded that required those. I believe my iron shield is still at either its base level. I might have upgraded that one once. The goddess shield, the purple one, I have not upgraded at all. And obviously I don't have the Hylian shield yet, which doesn't need any upgrades. I think all of my consumable bags are upgraded. So my bomb bag, seed satchel, quiver. I think all those are upgraded fully. The bug net is, the slingshot is, the beetle is. So I've got really what I want to have upgraded, fully upgraded. And I might hop into Lanayru after I'm done here. It'll depend on how much time I've got between this and heading to work, which I think I've got a decent amount of time. It wouldn't be enough to start the lightning round, but I could probably make some pretty decent headway into going through that area in Lanayru. But that is only a guess. I'm not completely certain on that. I have been enjoying the run so far, though. It's been a lot of fun to do that. I got very lucky with Fun Island and actually managed to get the piece of heart prize on the first try, so that was a nice, oh, thank you, and I am not coming back here moment. Literally did the quest for him, got the free attempt, used that free attempt, and got 500 rupees and a piece of heart, and I am not looking back. As much as I do love Skyward Sword, I will be the first to admit the minigames are not very good in that one. And that's actually where I'm missing one of the pieces of heart, is the that roller coaster minigame. That's one of the ones I'm missing. So I know I didn't go back and do that. I only did it the first time when it was required. So that's piece of heart number 3. So there's just one more somewhere that I haven't picked up yet. See if we can get a third one in a row here. No, this doesn't look like a super cucumber, but that's okay. We got a treasure chest here, so maybe there's something worthwhile in that. What do we got? Emerald, that's not bad. Alright, I think from here I am going to go ahead and cut. We got a little bit of time left here, but yeah, I will cut until either A, it is time for us to head back, or B, if anything interesting happens, like finding something good in a treasure chest. Alright, away we go. This is what our inventory is looking like, and I did not have to throw anything away there, so... pretty good spacing-wise. Hey, bud. Don't mind me just sprinting on back home. It's nice that that Joja Cola actually has a little bit more of a use now with that speed boost. It's only temporary, but it will help you get back home at an okay time. There's no way I would have made it back to the farm before 1 o'clock without that. Alright, so that soggy newspaper will go in there. The fish can all go in there, as well as the seaweed. I'm gonna hang on to one super cucumber because I'm not completely sure if I've got one of those. I do have one of those, but you know what? It couldn't hurt to have a second one just to be sure. We'll toss that trash in there so I can use that later. Get started on some gold bars here. That skeletal tail can just stay with me. And the jellies are ready, which will give another 2K. Which means with a little bit of luck, we might actually be able to afford both the trees we're looking for here. But let's find out. No, that's not going to be quite enough. Well, you know what? 7K with what we've got, that actually might be. Actually, yeah, I think it is, because I think it's 2,000 for one and 4,000 for another, so I actually do believe that is enough. So we might actually be good. Sorry about that, had to readjust in my chair. Sunday, the Queen of Sauce is available, which today's dish is pancakes. Sometimes I get carried away with fancy, complicated dishes, but there's something comforting about a simple pancake. You want plenty of butter and maple syrup to slather all over those warm stacks. Learn how to cook pancakes. Fortune is, spirits are ultra mad, and the weather is clear and sunny tomorrow. The sky at last will stop crying, for better or worse. Get some stuff sorted around, and then we'll check that mail real quick, but I want to pop up here and just make sure I'm not missing any... Well, I was going to say any tappers, but there's some forageables up here too. Those are always good. Can never hurt to have a couple more of those. Drop those off. Put that in there. We'll grab the batteries so that these have plenty of time to get going. The hops are again ready, and they will continue to be ready as they produce daily once they're finally good to go. So I'll keep the high and low qualities and sell the silvers, as I've been doing. Well, we'll Actually, toss that in there. All right. What do we got for mail? Hey, kid, my throat's about as dry as a desert bone. I'm real thirsty for a pale ale. You got one? Regular old beer won't do. I need a pale ale. Pam. Thankfully, we do have the item in order to craft these, which is actually the hops, fittingly enough. What we don't have, however, is the keg in order to make that into an alcoholic beverage, so we cannot currently do that. We do have the gold quality lemons, though, which is a good little bonus. I'm going to go ahead and drop those off in the community center chest. We're just going to refill all those spots with what we've got. Since we are basically good to go for the rest of the month here, I'm going to focus on using up what we've got in terms of space. That said, I am definitely going to want to get more wheat grown. So that might be something I'm going to do here in the pretty near future to make sure that community center is taken care of. I guess I could just sell that. We're going to drop these back in here. Ooh, that is a good question. Do I... Well, before we decide that, we need to go and check the traveling merchant. I was going to say, do I need to look into figuring out where to find a spot for sprinklers and subsequently wheat. It does grow quickly, but most of the crops that we have there will either take pretty much the remainder of the season, and while they're quick, they're not that quick, or they're ones that don't disappear after one. You just get them regrowing. Pomegranate, this will grow off of our trees pretty soon, so I'm not too worried about that. Pumpkin is a fall crop, and while it would be nice to have one of those for the center, it's not going to really make a big difference in the long run. This is, of course, a cooking item. Tea sapling. You can get the recipe for these from Caroline if you build up enough friendship with her, which I think we might actually have. I might check in and see if we can do that. These can be moderately useful, as it says these will produce tea leaves during the final week of each season, except for winter, and watering is not necessary, so they are a little bit different from the norm. Tortilla, I don't really need. It's cooking. Ice cream is technically cooking, sure, but we've got a couple of these. The baths I don't need. The midnight carp is a fish we have not seen. However, it's not too terribly rare. It's just you have to fish late at night for them. Pepper poppers cooking. Maple bars cooking. Cute chair. Rare seed. I think I'm good on the rare seeds, so I'm not going to buy one of those right now since I want to focus on the crops a little bit more. Today is obviously going to be a primary focus on farming. I guess we could just walk down there right now. Might as well walk on through, see what we can't see. I do believe this is the last day for the increased forageables on the beach. So I'm going to take a quick look down there, too, and see if there's anything. We might end up doing more fishing. We might not. It'll kind of just depend. We'll play it by ear for the time being. Many times you'll find that is often the right thing to do. It is looking like we are not going to have any luck in finding a cockle today. I really don't want to have to make the crafting recipe for the... where is it? The crab pot, but if I have to, then I have to. I just really would prefer not to, because they give you some after getting all the stuff that you can in that bundle. And since you can get enough for the bundle without actually having to make any, that's usually what I prefer to do. If we don't have it by the time I've done the rest of the fish tank, though, we absolutely will. At that point, it's beyond justifying, oh, we'll just wait a little bit longer. 14th, no one's birthday is today. I could probably do that pretty easily for Gus, yeah. Alright, first things first, let's sell these off. Got a good bit from that. I'm going to grab about 20 wheat seeds, I think. And then we're going to grab... I'm going to go and grab the grass starter recipe since we're here. Place this on your farm to start a new patch of grass. I don't think we'll ever need this, but I do want to go ahead and buy the recipe just so we have it right now. I don't think there's any other... Well, there's the dehydrator, but... if you picked the bat cave, you wouldn't have one of these, but the mushroom cave comes with one automatically, which is nice. But I do want to get started on the pomegranate and apple saplings. And I was actually way off. It is 10,000 between the two of them. I don't know where I got 4 and 2 when it's 4 and 6. We do have that taken care of. So we'll plant those trees, we'll get the wheat situation figured out, and then we'll go bring that iron bar to Gus. And from there we'll figure out what to do. It might be another tree chopping day. Feels like a good day for that. Okay, that. The rest of that's all silver quality. So we'll dump those in there. I believe that should hopefully be enough sprinklers. The big problem is where to place them. So I think we'll probably end up clearing out a little patch over here. Obviously, any area that you can farm on is usually a good enough spot to farm, but I don't like using little tiny patches of area. I prefer to use the larger ones that are given to you, so... We'll do a little bit of a 2-for-1 here. We're cleaning up the area for crops, but also we're getting that silo filled up a pretty good amount here by doing this too. This to grow back too terribly quickly, so we're gonna take out a pretty good chunk of this. So that'll be that. 1, 2, and here. 1, 2, and here. There we go. We got 3 spots left, so I will use those for the mixed seeds here. Just plant these here and here. Got enough space. Oh, I still had a sprinkler left over. Well, that's actually fine. We'll grab more of these. That's 1, that's 2, that's here. We go. I'm aware that the mixed seeds are technically better to plant since the flowers on average are not worth as much, but you know what? It's not too big a deal ultimately. Alright, that's all taken care of. Now, if we're fast enough, we should have time for a run to Clint's. Followed by the museum, followed by the community center. So we'll take care of all that. Because it might be a while before I record this again, so I want to make sure that I'm not leaving myself with too many open-ended things to do. I was gonna say, I don't even remember picking these all up, but this must have been whenever I was getting the gold out of the mines. Jeez, 3 in a row there. Well, we can definitely sell at least 2 of those. Don't need that either. Every little bit gets us closer to getting that key from him. Let's drop off a few things real quick. I am going to hang on to this dwarf gadget because I do believe this is used for a crafting recipe later on, and you can't very reliably find those, so it would probably be best to hang on to that. So that is what I'm going to do. I don't believe there is anything else for me to take to the center other than these, but if there are, no big deal. I could technically wait one more day to get the blueberry as well and bring that in, but that's okay. Well, plenty of time and plenty of blueberries to make sure we've got that taken care of. Quality crops, at last we're putting in one of these. Summer crops, melon, tomato, which just leaves that blueberry. Over at the fish tank. Just missing that cockle for the crab pot. And the dye bundle is just now missing the duck feather, which again is, unless you find it from a from the traveling merchant, you're probably not going to be getting that anytime soon. It's usually, from what I hear from most people, one of the last things that they get. And with that, there's really not too terribly much else to do. For our big summer goals... Oh, hello. For our big summer goals, really the only one that I need to get done now is just starting work on getting the coop and the barn built. But while those are important, I'd say those are probably the least important things to do on my summer checklist. The big thing was making sure we got enough crops taken care of, which I do believe we will now have that fully done, where everything in the community center we'll need is taken care of. And we'll have some excess for other stuff, because I know Demetrius will ask for a melon in the mail at some point. So you'll definitely need at least one more. So I think we're good on that. I feel good on our combat gear. I feel good on our tools as a whole. I feel pretty good with our resources as a whole. So now it is just going to be money making for that coop and that barn. But while we will need the money, we're definitely going to have to take some days to chop down some trees as well, because those coops and barns do use up quite a bit of wood and quite a bit of stone as well. So we want to make sure we've got enough for those. The barn, because it's larger, big surprise, because it stores bigger animals, will take more resources, and I believe also more money as a whole as well. So if you're debating between which of the two you should do, if you're going strictly by which can you get upgraded faster, it's almost assuredly going to be the coop. So bear that in mind when deciding what you're going to be focusing on. From here, I think, again, with fishing, I will just cut out for now unless something interesting happens. And if nothing interesting happens, then I will see you all at the allotted time for me to head back home. Yeah, not too terribly much in the ways of fishing there. Just not a lot biting. But you know what? We got a little bit extra taken care of. I'm going to have to let those grapes go, I'm afraid. But that's okay, because again, those are a crop you can grow in the fall. They're not just a forageable in the summer. So it's not too big a deal. Just drop all of this off. Oh, right, I was going to give Gus an iron bar today, but I did not get around to that. Ah, well. C'est la vie. And we got a little bit out of that. Got about 1,000 gold from fishing, give or take. Yeah, again, just nothing was biting, really. Don't know what was going on there. 1996, what a year. What a year. I wasn't alive at that point. That's a lie. I'd just been born. Well, not just been born. I was born at the start of 95, but either way. That will do it, and it looks like we have passed our 100,000 G mark. Not that there's any big reward for that, but that will still do it for an episode. This is what our current skill set is looking like. 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s. I'm very happy with that. I gotta know, though, are the blueberries actually ready at this point? Are they actually finally ready? They are. They're finally ready. We'll be able to pick those all up in the next episode. I'll be very excited for that. That'll probably get our farming up to level 8, to be perfectly honest, which is getting close to that keg, if not at the keg. I don't remember if it's farming level 8 or 9, but I do know that we need that keg decently soon here to really start making in a good amount of money. Plus, wine is one of the things you need for the community center, so it will also help with that. Apparently, right now we are a Granger. That's good to know. We are, in fact, a relative to Hermione. I'm pretty sure that has an actual term for it, but oh well. We'll just have me walking in place right here. Very nice. Thank you all for watching this episode of Stardew Valley, and I will see you guys next time for episode 22 with all of our weapons at steel, with all of the fruit trees grown we need to, and with all of our crops taken care of by the sprinklers for us. Where do we go from here? Well, I mean, it's still going to be money making, of course, but the primary focus now is going to be getting those resources, both for the money and also the material, to get the barn and coop upgraded. So I'm going to be doing some wood chopping, of course, in order to get more wood and see what other materials that we need, because stone is probably up there as well. But that is another job for another day. Until then, I will see you all in the next one. Later.